What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Xanon here, back with you with another video. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're gonna get it straight into Stellar, right? And they put a tweet out 11:49 p.m. Right? This was just released at almost 30 minutes ago, right? So let's get into it, right? So this is what this Stellar Development Foundation announced: first of its kind environmental footprint assessment framework developed in collaboration with PwC US. To learn more about how this framework was applied, click below. Right, so we're gonna check this out, right? So this is very interesting what they're doing, right? So I did open up the document, found some stuff that's interesting. This is really interesting picture with carbon emissions, PwC still foundation. Well, let's see the purpose of the framework and what stands out, right? So PwC's blockchain sustainability framework. The framework provides a methodology to quantify the environmental impacts of a blockchain protocol. Although existing studies on the sustainable of blockchain exist, these often focus on a single blockchain and define bespoke methodologies and assumptions, making meaningful comparisons of results challenging. By defining a consistent and widely applicable methodology as well as common set of assumptions and data sources, the framework can theoretically be applied to a wide range of blockchain protocols while providing comparable and trusted results. Right, so that's done, and then they give a challenge of a blockchain trilemma of decentralization, security, scalability, and outside the box is sustainability. When these three work together and how much energy they sustain and consume and stuff like that, which is important. With where we're going into the whole carbon emission stuff, right? So the green agenda, right? So so let's get into it. So the consensus mechanism of a blockchain protocol is a critical component for achieving agreement on network state. Consensus mechanisms have been adapted over time as benefits and drawbacks have been identified within each approach and thus serve as a leading differentiator between protocols. This leads to a focal point of discussion for blockchain networks, the blockchain trilemma. Well known in the industry, the blockchain trilemma processes the three main: decentralization, security, and scalability, and, and postulates that a blockchain network can only reliably provide two of the three, sacrificing one as a trade-off. It is important to note that the trilemma is a conceptual model for challenging problem within the blockchain space, but not but does not suggest that it is impossible to solve. As emergent protocols seek solutions to address the trilemma, creators should also consider a fourth axis of sustainable on how the protocol impacts the environment. So how the protocol impacts the environment is where you're gonna see all these cryptos, come together and stuff like that. Let's finish up. Due to the decentralized nature of blockchain systems and the vast number of anonymous participants, it is not feasible to retrieve energy usage data for each participant in a given protocol. However, attempts can be made to estimate the environmental impact of blockchains through a variety of approaches which are covered in the remainder of the framework. The framework aims to quantify material and environmental impacts of a blockchain protocol building on existing research in the market. And right here they're talking about energy consumptions and stuff like that. ESG impacts on the environment, right? So the first step development of the framework was to identify the material sustainability impacts that are relevant to blockchain protocols, right? And we're going to skip all that, including investors, society, customers, and developers, and creates significant impact on the environment, economy, and society. Materiality impacts of ESG topics were drawn from PwC's proprietary ESG issues framework and were supplemented by industry-leading practices. The list was as a guidance for discussion and initial indication of priorities and is not comprehensive. Note that social and government considerations such as access to finance, responsible product innovation are not included in the framework, right? And they give us a list of things they're going through, right? You can pause this and check this out, right? So, of things that's going on, all right, that I'm not going to really get fully into. So, the high importance, low importance of these stuff, right? What's important I want to get into is this right here, selecting environmental impacts to include in the blockchain sustainability framework. The balance the importance to stakeholder and feasibility. The framework covers a prioritized subset of three impact areas: energy use, carbon emissions, and e-waste embodied carbon. It is desired the future research considers the quantification of ESG impacts not included in the framework to continue to build on the wider body of research already conducted. Okay, keywords are they're going to continue to build on the wider body of research already conducted, right? So as you can see, this is PwC working with Stellar Foundation, and right as they say they want to with the ESG, right? So linking it together, we know that PwC is doing stuff with VeChain, right? So there's going to be this connection. I think that's going to come and help in XLM in certain areas, where with XLM requires or need that assisting hand is where VeChain is going to come in. Just because looking of this right and off the bat, we were talking about this project called AirTrace powered by VeChain, right? And one of the main things on this article, just cut straight to it, it should be noted that AirTrace can also be used to assist enterprises, uh, right? So, what is Stellar Foundation is an enterprise in strengthening the ESG commitments and reporting efforts. Uh, you know, that's this keyword. So this simply this is not financial advice. This is literally speculation and educational purposes only. But by speculation and by what I'm seeing, and if you can connect the dots, you can see that there is a PwC AirTrace protocol that's going to assist enterprises such as Stella, right, with the ESG commitments that they are, gunning for, as you can see on their list of things, because you can't, as far as enough, the Stella consensus protocol can, do certain things. It's going to need uh, another another body, another governing body to help it, assist it in certain areas and aspects that it need to be that they need that assist and to come in and provide that. So this is where AirTrace is interesting in what they're doing and stuff like that. As you can see, AirTrace was selected as a finalist in the G20. Okay, so that's interesting, right? At the moment, as I make this G20 World Economic Forum, the meeting stellar development is up there. So this is kind of interesting on what they're doing, right? So yeah, I will drop a link to these two articles in the description box below, and you guys can look into this and check for yourself, right? So I hope you guys have a good day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, right? But before I go off, let's just do this quickly, right? So Stella is at 13 cents, and we have VeChain at 3 cents right now, and yeah, so that's pretty good steals on those two projects that I can see that they definitely gonna work together. I can see that coming from a mile away. Just when you throw a certain company in there, you can just see like the key word in this article, and just to bring it back, assist enterprises, which is gonna mean a lot of projects that should come along. But yeah, uh, I'm out. You guys have a good one. Cheers.